Hello and welcome to Space Engineers. So I thought I'd have a go at doing a new series to go alongside Captain of Industry. Space Engineers is something that's been recommended to me a few times in the past. I've sort of watched a few videos of it and kind of gone, that looks way too complicated for me. But there was an update recently that added survival elements to the game, food and that sort of thing. And I've watched a couple of videos recently and I thought, you know what, this is actually making a bit more sense to me. So massive thank you to Keen Software House for providing a key so I could take a look at the game. That is massively appreciated. The general plan for this is that we will have a full series, however long that takes. Maybe this first series will be a relatively, he says in air quotes, short one, you know, I don't know, 10, 20 episodes long, and then maybe we'll start a new one after that with like a bit more of a scenario or a bit more of a plan, or making it a bit more challenging, something like that. I don't really know. So I'm going to go in the star system. Running through the options, I haven't changed much. We do have some mods. I don't have many mods, just some of the sort of more common ones you tend to see around. So build info, colorful icons, crew enable just as NPCs to ships and bases, a compass because I like a compass, quieter tools because I've only played maybe about an hour of this and I did the tutorial story mode. So that's all I've done of this, so I don't really know what I'm doing, but the tools were very loud, so quieter tools. And the only sort of major change, and that's not really that major, is the Trade Operators Coalition, which adds in trade ships that'll appear around the planets and in space that you can trade with. I haven't added anything else at the moment, but maybe we'll add more as we go along. So this is all set to standard, I'm pretty sure. I was thinking about changing this to realistic to sort of push us towards having a bigger style base, but I thought for the first series, let's keep it sensible. Let's go with what it starts with the recommended. So ×3. Definitely not enabling lightning damage, because a couple of the people that I've watched were like, I did lightning damage last season and it was horrible and it destroyed everything. So we're not going to enable that for now. Everything else I'm pretty sure is as it comes. I don't think I've changed anything. I'll just scroll through so you guys can see it all to see if there's anything that you think I should be changing. So let's hit start. And here we are ready to pick our what's classed as a medical room for some reason. That's odd. Yeah, so I've had a look at a couple of these in various different videos and stuff. I think we're going to go with an Earth-like to start with. I think that makes the most sense. I didn't really want to do an Earth-like because everyone does Earth-likes, it seems like, in all the little videos that I've seen. On the other hand, I don't want to go for one of the more difficult options for my first ever attempt. The only comparable one is Triton, and I did very quickly just start one in Triton, and it was kind of dreary and a bit grey, and I thought the Earth-like's a little bit prettier to look at. So we're going to do an Earth-like to start with. So we're going to hit respawn, and that's going to pop us into the air. Oh, there we go. I thought that looked a bit bleak then to start with. And here we are on our Earth-like planet. It's very mountainous here. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. That is a lot more rugged than I was anticipating. Look at that. That's a bit crazy. Okay. So we're going to wait for this guy to come down. Boop. So if you haven't played Space Engineers for a while, you might be thinking, like, why has he got a rover to start? This is an option, or not an option, this is how the game now starts as of the latest Apex Apex Survival update, that's what I should say. Rather than starting with the drop pod, and I only know that because other people have talked about it, you now start with a little rover which comes with its own survival kit. You can see that at the back there. It comes with a couple of batteries, and I think that's pretty much it. It's got an antenna, and I think it has an ore detector as well. Oh, we're getting performance issues apparently. That's interesting. Okay, we're just going to ignore that for the minute. So, one thing I am going to say is that this is a series where I don't just welcome community input, I would almost require it. I have never played this before. As I say, I've done like an hour in the tutorial stuff, but that's literally all I've played. I've watched maybe 3 or 4 hours of videos, so I sort of know roughly what to do to start with, but beyond that, I haven't really got a clue. So please do chip in if you think there's anything I should be doing different, if you think there's any mods that would be particularly useful. if you have any suggestions, if you're like, I don't want to see this series, I want to see you start on a different planet in this scenario, blah, 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 let me know. I'm all for this being like an introductory video if there's a general consensus that we should be doing something different, and then doing something off different after that. Or I'm quite keen on it being like at least a few episodes long so we get a bit of a handle on it. So, right, that being said, I know the first thing we should do is we should jump out of our ship. We should get our drill out. We should get some rock to put in the back of this while we're traveling around, because the survival kit can change rock or stone into ores. Not very efficiently, but it can do it. So we're going to do that. We're going to go and grab ourselves... I need to be holding down F, I forgot that. We're going to go and grab ourselves a whole bunch of rock. Seems like this is particularly tough ground. It doesn't seem to be going down very fast, but that's fine. All right, so we have made ourselves a lovely little hole, and we've managed to fill up our inventory. I might just put down, let's think, yeah, I might just put down a GPS marker just to say this is where we started. Started here. Oh, I mean, I meant to say that. New. Right, there we go. Now we can say started here. I don't really need to see it on the HUD. I just want to know. I just think that'd be quite cool. We've got an unidentified signal somewhat nearby. No, it's not. It's 175 kilometers away. That's fine. Okay, so we're crouching, which is why we're going slow. If we come into this... and we go to production, I think. No inventory. And then we stick all of the stone in here. It's because it's full. That's fine. Can I stick some down there? Yeah, and then I can put you there. Yeah, perfect. Can I put some of that down there as well? Excellent. And then I should be able to say, come over here, make me 1,000 ingots. Which is obviously a lot of ingots, but... it's got to do something while we're driving around, right? Okay. I was like, I'm not moving. Why aren't I moving? It's because I put the parking brake on. Okay, let's have ourselves a little drive around. So we're looking for a couple of things. One, we are looking for ore to pop up. Is there a way of getting that build info mod text to disappear? Probably, but I don't know what it is offhand. So yeah, so we're looking for ore to pick up. We have got an ore detector. It is on. We would like it to detect some ores. You can spot them on the ground. Apparently it's quite hard in grass. So I don't know how useful that's going to be. So we're sort of relying on the ore detector as we drive around. The other thing we're looking for, is a sensible place to put our base, which really we're going to want to have some ores nearby for that. Iron, I think, almost certainly. Maybe cobalt, I think, is another sort of semi-important one. And so far, we have seen no ores. Unless I have driven over them and completely missed them, we have seen no ores. Come on, you can get up this hill. You can do it. There you go. Just going to zoom out a bit. Yeah, we are like almost completely surrounded by mountains here. Okay. So I wouldn't mind building a base, like just right up here, really. I think this would be quite a cool spot for it. What I do need, though, is some ores to appear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Okay. We're okay. We're okay. Woo! I'm going to turn my gyroscope on so that I can... I'm assuming that will allow me... Nope, don't turn the gyroscope on because that did weird things. Maybe I need to really quickly enable that once I am... Oh, my word. Okay. Okay. Well, nothing broke, so... We're fine. We're fine. We're not going to worry about it. Still not seen any ores yet. And what we want to do when we find ores is to mark them as found. Mark them with a GPS signal so we know where they are. I'm a little surprised that we have so far seen literally 0 ores though. And I'm wondering if maybe one of the mods has messed something up. I don't know. Well, we'll continue driving around and we'll just see if we can... Ooh, one, not brake our vehicle immediately. That would be lovely. And if we can find some lovely jubbly ores, that would also be quite nice. All right then. Ah, we have found our first ore and it is iron. Okay, beautiful. Let's just pop down. Nope. Let's pop down GPS. We want a new GPS. Iron. Oh my word, all the wrong buttons. GPS. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out, don't worry. This is going to be called FE. We're just going to call it FE ore, just so we know that it's an ore. And we'll leave everything else. So I'm going to leave this one showing on the HUD for now. Why is that one white? I don't mind. Oh, is it because it's not showing on the HUD? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we have found some iron. That's a good start. We need iron. I do also need other things. It seems like it's quite a sizable... If we just stop a second and zoom out, you can sort of see those dark patches in the grass there. Just about see them. That is where ores are. I'm kind of glad I zoomed out a bit, because now I can see that I appear to be on the edge of a massive cliff. Okay, so we are going to need other ores. Ah, we also have cobalt and nickel. Okay, right. I don't know what the... what's the word I'm looking for? The medical symbols, not the medical symbols, the chart, the elemental symbols for cobalt and nickel are. I'm going to assume that. I don't know. I'll have to look that up at some point. It does tell you, I think, when you pick up some. So, that, I think, is a pretty good place to start thinking about a base. We've got lots of materials right next to us. We are going to need other things. Ice, for example, would be lovely to have. But I think we have already found a good place for our base. It's an incredibly beautiful location. We've got that little exit out over there. Hopefully we'll be able to find some other ores around here. But I'm thinking, yeah, we build a lovely little base either on top of one of these peaks, by which I mean like the one that I'm on, or sort of over... Oh, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Let's just put the parking brake on a second. Yeah, so either where we are now... Do I have a jetpack? Oh, I do. I want to be a little careful because we don't have a way of refilling it at the moment. So yeah, so we have this peak here, or like that peak there, or even maybe just like in the middle-ish between them, so it sort of straddles the two peaks. Yeah. Okay, it came down a little hard. Oh, and is that something? Oh, yes. Because of course, there is food in the game now. So if you haven't played for a while, you might not have realized there was food in the game, but food is now a thing. This came with the Apex Survival update. And food is now a thing, so we can go around and we can collect some food, or we can make some food, and that's going to be one of the first things we want to do. So one of the things I haven't really done in the game at all is base building. So when you do the tutorial bit, it sort of shows you how to repair things. It shows you how to repair ships, gives you a little bit of a fly around and stuff, but that's about all it does. So I need to figure out, and I have basically no idea, how we build a base. So let's come into our blocks. I do have the progression enabled. So there are some things, and I think there's a better way of seeing it. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. Progression. There it is. So yeah, so we can't make for example, a medical room until we've made a basic assembler. We cannot make an emotion controller until we've made an interior light, etc., etc., etc. So right now, the only thing we can make is a basic assembler, it seems. Although that is grayed out there. Why is that grayed out there? So we've got a basic assembler and some light armor blocks down there. We could also just make scaffold blocks. I'm going to pop scaffold blocks in place of the landing gear. Because I think to start with, we will just do scaffold blocks. I don't think we can place them yet, because that needs girders to place. And what do the... And how do we... Ah, yeah, they're like that. And these need steel plates to place. This also needs steel plates to place. So how... Where's my ship? How do I... I know you can... make stuff there. Can you also make... Oh, you can also make these things, I'm guessing. So you can make girders, and you can make interior plates and steel plates. So girders cost 2 iron ingots. Steel plates cost 7 iron ingots. So... let's just have another quick look. Yeah, that's definitely steel plates. That's going to be steel plates, so we will need steel plates. But for now, if we just go with scaffold blocks, and just get some girders down, at least that will allow us to start placing things. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Production, girders, 100. Fine. We will need some steel plates, so I'm going to stick on 100 of those after that as well. We will then also need probably all of these bits, I'm guessing. If we come out and we look at the basic assembler, we need construction components, motors, displays, and computers. So we're going to need displays, computers, construction components, motors. We're going to need all of these things. And obviously, we're going to start running out of iron soon. So we're going to want to start getting stuff down. Is it worth just getting some stone in the meantime? I'm really happy with this little starting location. I love the fact we've got like a desert mountain and then snowy mountains in the background. Yeah. Yeah. Really genuinely happy with this place. So do I want to... If we're going to build just like a little starting nonsense... Do I want to build it in the middle, or do I want to like build it up here? I'm thinking we build like our actual base up here. It's not too far from that. Yeah, so what we'll do is our little starter plot, where we're just going to get stuff so we can start making the components we need to do more with, we are going to put over here. And I apologize massively if this is I didn't actually pick anything up, did I? If this is pressing all the wrong buttons. A slow start. If you are a keen Space Engineers content watcher, that's a thing, this is probably going to be a fairly slow start compared to what you're used to, and I do apologize for that. But yeah, I'm a noob. I'm a complete noob. I might even put noob in the title of the video. There is also a chance that this video doesn't go anywhere, that I just... I don't really want to do it in the shadow, although the shadow will probably change. Let's put it here. How do I enable snapping? B. No. There we go. Am I already out of girders? Unable to place because of reasons, even though you do sometimes go green. There you go. I knew you could do it. I had faith in you. Why can't I not jump up there? There we go. So we'll make a little... I'm going to go with 3x3 grid to start with. I'm not obviously too fussed about welding those all up. That's fine. We just want to get something so we can start doing stuff. So I'd like a refinery. And I would like a basic assembler. If we put the basic assembler there... Is that the only input port? So I'd like that connected to that. Right, hang on a second. Because now I'm not sure which way I put this down. Let's get rid of that. So basic refinery. Yeah, it has two. So if we put you there, so we can at least access one of your panels. And then you, annoyingly, your panel is right next to your thing. But we should be able to access you from other areas. So we're going to put you there. Okay. And then we are going to right-click you. We are going to right-click you. So if... Oh, you can fall down the scaffold. That's annoying. Okay, jetpack out. If you are completely new to Space Engineers, you can see that these things have a number of components in the bottom right there. We need steel plates, construction components, motors, displays, computers, etc., etc., etc. Rather than having to remember all of that, if you just right-click on it, it will add that to a build queue, which I think you can see somewhere. I don't know. Somewhere. And then if you come over to a storage point, which is connected to all the bits you need, you can then middle click and it'll pull out any of the stuff that you need. Obviously, we don't have a lot of that stuff. So, what are you currently doing? Not a lot because you're out of iron. So we're going to have to go and get some more stone to get this up and running. Let's see how much we manage to pull out. If I can get a refinery up and running sooner rather than later, I'd be very happy with that. But we only have the steel plates. We don't have the construction components, the motors, or anything else. So if you're thinking that's a little bit loud, that welder noise, you've got no idea how loud it is at normal volume. That's with the mod enabled to make it quieter. There is also a mod to make it not as bright, but I wasn't as fussed by that. I didn't think that was as much of a concern. Okay, so we have to dig down to this iron. So there are two ways of digging. You can left click, which generates the goods for you to collect, or you can right click, which just quickly removes terrain and doesn't leave any blocks in the way. So we're going to do that. We're just going to try and quickly come through here until we hit the iron. I'm going to turn my lights on so we can maybe see something. So we're still in dirt at the moment. We're just hitting stone. I'm kind of just creeping forward. And hopefully we've left ourselves a nice, sensible tunnel out. We have. Good. It's always a concern for me. We do have the jetpack to start with, though. So maybe it's not that much of an issue. So there should be iron just down here. So we could be collecting this stone, so we could put it into the... right, we've just hit the iron. Look, there it is. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to start collecting some iron. And then we will go and dump that into... No, we don't want iron, because we can't put iron in the thing. I should have collected all the stone. Okay. In which case, we will just collect a bunch of stone. I wanted to get down to the iron, but that's no good until we get the refinery, because we can't use...
Inventory full.
Iron ore in the survival kit. It only uses stone. So... Rookie mistake, I got too excited. Okay, so into the inventory, you have a little bit of stone, have some more stone. This can go down here, this can go down here, this can go down here. We don't have any general storage, do we, unfortunately? Okay, I'm going to do a few runs for stone, and then we'll be back in a minute. So I have just noticed my first mistake. I've been hitting new rather than new from current position. So when I've been creating markers, they're actually not at all where I want them to be. So my starting position is not actually going to be anywhere near my starting position. It's at 0, 0, 0, which is no good for me, obviously. So we're going to get rid of that. We're also going to get rid of that. We'll remake that one. So we should have... Yeah, I wanted to put a little marker there so I knew where the actual entrance to my, I'm going to say mine was. And can we get to a point... There was also cobalt here somewhere, wasn't there? I don't know where that's gone now. I'm sure it said cobalt. Because I was super excited when I saw that there were 3 things. Oh, there we go. Right, so if I'm going to put a GPS marker in, I'll put it in here. So we know that all 3 are available here. So, doing it again. Not you. Go away. New from current position. Not you. Over here. Cobalt, iron, and nickel. And I need to find out if those are actually the right elemental things. Okay, cool. Anyway, so that's there now. Excellent. Right, I'm going to get some stone. Okay, I have been drilling like a madman. We have done several runs. I thought I should probably move the rover a bit closer. That would make a lot of sense. I'm just going to go and grab the little bit of stone that's on the floor down there. Because we may as well. We may as well, right? So let's pop that in there as well. Okay, so we have managed to produce all of the things I asked it to. I don't know if that's enough to do what we want. But let's drive over, park and brake, drive over to our little starter base. And see if it is. So let's get our welder. Oh no, we took our welder off. Yeah, I took everything out of my inventory, so I had more capacity for stuff. Let's put that in as well, just in case we need that. And then we need to middle click. Cannot withdraw some stuff. That could just be because our inventory is full. Let's find out. So let's have a go at this. Yeah, we need more construction components, definitely. And we haven't got any steel plates on us. Yeah, okay. Can we bring out any more from here? I don't think so, because I think it says if you do pull anything out. Okay, so we need steel plates and construction components. Okay, okay. We can do that. So production. I feel like I'm not looking at the survival kit. There we go. Production. We need construction components. I will figure out what these will look like at some point, by the way. And steel plates. We'll probably need more of those. We'll probably need more displays, probably need more motors, possibly need more computers, possibly need more interior plates. So let's just queue all of that up. The order that it's in here, by the way, is the order it will make things. So if we put any extra stone in here, it would try to process the stone into ingots first, and then it would do the rest of them. If it didn't have the iron ingots to do the steel plates, but it could do something else, then it would move on to that. So that's how that sort of works. I will try to talk you through how I think the game works as I go. Whether that is accurate or not is another matter entirely. It's another matter entirely. Nobody knows. Literally nobody knows. So it's done some stuff. Because the steel plate was at the beginning, it hasn't done the stuff that I actually needed, has it? Yes, I see what you've done. So let's do a bit more on the finer. Yeah. Okay, so you are actually completely done. Beautiful. You need construction components and motors and computers. Did I even vaguely look how many? I'm sure there is a way of seeing your build queue somewhere, but I don't know. No, inventory, no, info, no. I've got no idea. So we want, I've already forgotten. Literally already forgotten. Motors and computers. What are you? It doesn't tell me what you are. I think we need displays, and I think we need computers. Oh, sun's going down. Food is also ticking down. Construction, 40 construction, 10 motors, 80 computers. 40, 10, 80. Production, 40 construction parts, which are these ones. We're going to need another 10 motors and 80 computers, was it? I think. Maybe it was 20 motors. Okay, so it might be that. I'm not too sure. So we're almost reached the end of our first day. The sun is going down. That's actually a good point. If we come up to where we're sort of roughly going to put our base, yeah, we are going to get a fair amount of sun. Just thinking of solar panels and algae farms, which are the first thing you use to build food. If I press F1 and get rid of that, does that message disappear? Yeah, we are going to be slightly impacted because the sun isn't going to go all the way down to a horizon. It's going to go there and not rise until it reaches there. So slightly impacted, but I love this little weird little mountainous cul-de-sac we've got. I think it's beautiful. Right, so we need to go and get some more stone because we do have the refinery up and running, so we could put iron in that, but then saying that we haven't got anything to power it yet. So, nope, that's no good. So we're also going to need to make a windmill, which is another 8 motors, 20 construction parts, 24 girders. Okay, not too bad. I keep doing that, trying to come out of that menu. Let's go and get a whole, parking brakes on, a whole bunch more stone. Let's drive over. It's got such a massive turning circle. To our hole. So we probably have a battery on this, but one of the only when you destroy stuff with your grinder and you grind it down into its components, you do lose some things. So if we come over here, you can see in the bottom right there, you'd get back the steel plates, the construction components, computers, blah blah blah. You don't get the power cells. You lose power cells when you grind. So I can't grind down the battery to build another battery in my base. I have to find a way of making power cells to do that. So I can't just pop down a battery and get... Because when you put down batteries, they come with like 30% power, 25% power, something like that. But I can't just pop down a battery to get my base up and running. It's not as simple as that. I'll have to be able to make power cells first.
Inventory full.
Right, okay, I'll be back in a moment. So we have gone through and we've mined a bunch more stone. Let's see if we've got enough to get this up and running. We just need the basic steel plate. I don't know if we've even got that queued up at the moment. Let's have a little look. Production. We've got some steel plate. We need more steel plate. We need another like 50 or so. As you can see, we've built quite a lot of stuff. So we're doing okay. We're doing okay. We just need to get some more of these made and see if that's enough to get us up and running. What I would ideally like is to see us in a position where we have... I'm just going to go back and forth and keep doing this while it's still making more. Algae up and running by the time the sun comes up. That's what we need. That's what we want to see. We are going to need power for that. So we are going to need to make some wind turbines. We'll have to see how we go. We'll have to see how we go. But we are going to need that. Oh, hello. That's very pretty. Don't know what they are. We do have a standard moon somewhere, and the skybox is very pretty. I'm a sucker for a good skybox. I'm a sucker for a good skybox. Right, let's... So that's going to get us this up and running. Okay, we're not going to quite get it finished, but that's absolutely fine. What we want now then is to build a wind turbine, or to plan a wind turbine. I'm just trying to think, where was the... Stupid falling through the scaffolding. Yeah, I'm assuming the sun rises in the east, so this isn't really in a good orientation. So we might have to try and rebuild all of this, actually, because we do want this aligned with the sun. So maybe we will start building this, like, here. So if we get some blocks down, but we need steel plates to put it down. And we've used all of our steel plates up. Keep pressing escape to do that. Yeah, we're going to have to grind all that down again, but we won't lose anything if we do that. We'll just have to, yeah, just have to remake it. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. This is how we learn. This is how we learn. So let's, I don't want you, I want you into production. I want you to make more steel plates, please. Just queue up like 100 or so. That's fine. And what do you have in terms of inventory? Not a lot of iron. Not a lot of iron at all. We might need... But I think I do have a lot of girders, right? Saying that. Inventory. Oh, I'm going to click all the things. I'm going to click all the things. We do have quite a lot of girders. We could always pop the girders in our inventory and just start doing it with scaffold to start. And then if we're saying this is temporary, we can always do it again at another point. Okay, so facing east. Let's pop this down here. Okay. Good start. So, we don't want the wind turbines in the way of... Oh, hold on a second. Not a good start. Let's try that again. Because that has nothing on top of it. I would like it to have... there, like that. So it's got something on top, which is hopefully going to allow us to walk somewhat. Orientate that to the east. Okay, excellent. And then we need to change that into local grid mode so it snaps. But you've done the same thing where you're not quite in the orientation I would like. So, local grid mode. I keep pressing Shift W to rotate things, but it's Control W. There we go. Okay, so if we're thinking we're going to have somewhere around here... It's done it again. It's done it again. Okay. And then we're going to want to build like a tower to get our wind turbine on. Can I not build you on that? Do I have a little step? Will you allow me to step up? Sort of. Sort of. Corner, half, frame, slope, block. Okay. How high are we going to want the wind turbines to be? In fact, I don't really need the things, so I can just... Whoop. Yeah, why don't I just do that? That'd be easier. Now there probably is like a sensible height. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we do one more, maybe even two more. I also don't know if these are going to need to be made to transfer power to the wind turbines. Or if these can even go on wind on these. They can, but I think I'm in the way. Oh, I can't place you because I don't have interior plates. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, so I'm figuring we'll put a few wind turbines on there. But we need interior plates to plan that. We can do that. And then we'll move the other bits over there as well. Okay, so jetpack off. Come over here. We need... Keep pressing the wrong things. Oh, I've also got a few buffs, by the way. So the longer you are alive, you get more buffs. So I've got a 10% health, welding, grinding speed, 4% movement, and oxygen consumption is down by 10% as well. So the longer you're alive, the more buffs you get. The problem with that obviously being, if you die, you no longer have those buffs. So you need iron to do that, and you do not have a lot of iron. We do have 14 interior plates though, so if we take those, that'll at least allow us to get the wind turbines down, because I do know that you can put the wind turbines in, I think, what they call like a flower setup. It doesn't want to snap to them. Why don't you want to? Unable to place. Why are you unable to place? I can put you there though. I'm just going to do 2 for the moment, and we'll see how we go. Obviously, you're going to need a lot of bits, so we're going to right-click twice to add that to the build planner, so we know what we need. I came down a little bit hard there. So let's heal up. Food is ticking down. We do start with a little bit of food, but not a lot. Not a lot. Okay, so that's us healed up. So we're going to want to expand this grid. Yeah, if we come out another 1. And then go and get these bits over here. So let's grind these down. I have slowly been working through the GoodBot interactive objects help text up at the top left there. It's almost like a tutorial, which I wasn't overly aware of because I've never really interacted with it.
Inventory full.
Inventory is full. That's fine. Let's go up here. Let's pop down our refiner. I don't know why I just keep saying refiner constantly. Let's pop that down there. Yeah, that's fine. And then we want our assembler. We want to make sure you are oriented the right way. Like that. Perfect. Let's start building these up. Just so we can go and collect the other bits and bobs that we left over there. Okay. And you do get faster welders and grinders and drills, by the way. We're obviously just starting out, so we don't have much to go for us at the moment. And like most of the games of this sort of ilk, it can be a little grindy to start. Of course it can be a little grindy to start. That's how these things always work. So let's get rid of all of these. We don't want these there anymore. They're just going to confuse us. Perfect. Thank you very much. I wonder if this doesn't show your build queue because it's not really meant to be something you build with. If we come over to the... If we come over here, I might want to put a little ramp up here at some point. Let's get rid of that. That's fine. If we come over to here and look at production, still can't see build queue. How on earth do you see build queues? I've got no idea. Right, yeah, but that's not going to work at the moment anyway, so we can just come out of that. So we have a bunch of stuff we're going to need, and I suspect we don't have a lot to do. A lot of components we need at the moment. Oh, it's raining. Lovely. So if we come up here... Yeah, we need construction components. We do have everything else we need apart from the construction components. We need to just remember to come in a little bit slower when we're doing that. So production, we want construction components. We want 20 of those. We want those to go there. So we'll need another 20 to do the next one as well. We'll probably need some more motors. We can build solar cells now. Was that there before? I'm not entirely sure. If we just bring up a windmill, in fact... We'll also need some more girders, maybe. Yeah, we do definitely need motors. Okay, so... I'm going to go and do some more drilling. Because the parking brake's on. because we can't do much until we get that drill. So that compass mod that I've put up there does also have... kind of wish there was... I wonder if you could like do a handbrake turn at the parking brake. I wonder if that's a possibility. So let's pop you in here. Excellent. Jump out. Get our... oh, in fact, what we want to do is just make sure that our inventory is not overly rammed with stuff, which it is a little bit. That's fine. Let's just drop a bunch of this in there. Oh yeah, I can't drop the fruit in there. The fruit does not exist in there. Didn't I have... oh, it's in the cockpit. I was going to say, I'm sure I had some like other food stuff, but I do, it's there. We also have this thing here, which will put a GPS marker on our map for us to go explore at some other point. But for now, not the welder, the drill. For now, we are going to go and just get some more stone. As soon as that refinery's up and running, we can abandon collecting stone. Well, I say that, we will also have to go and find more... oops, sorry, I just kicked something under my desk. We will have to go and find more... ores. So we've got nickel, we've got cobalt, we've got iron. We will probably need some silicon as well. That might be all we need to get started, but we are going to need that silicon mine. Or silicon ore vein, I should maybe say. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm going to do a whole bunch of this. Food is getting critical. We are going to have to eat some crisps, I think. So I can move those into my inventory, and then you can right-click them to consume one, and then we'll just pop them back into the cockpit there. That's fine. Let's move some of this stuff out so that we can put more stone in. There you go. All right, sweet. So we've had a little bit of food. Is the sun coming up? I don't think so. I think it's just the weather. It is relatively bright at night. One of the series that I was watching, the guy did put on a mod which made it like a lot more realistic lighting, which meant it was absolutely pitch black at night, which is much more immersive, and I liked it from that regard. It did make watching him do stuff in the middle of the night a bit more painful, because obviously you can just see like a little bit of illuminated light where his torches are, and that's about it. So I haven't put that one on, but if you think that's something you might want to see, you let me know. How we doing? What was it we were making? Was it it was interior plates, wasn't it? Yeah, we'll just let it carry on grinding down the stone into ores, and we'll worry about that in a minute. All right, I'm going to get some stone. So the survival kit has finished processing all of the bits I think we need for the wind turbine. So it's just going to get one more load of stone, just whap it in there, just so that we have a little bit of extra stuff on the go. Let's move this iron out, this nickel out, just to give it a bit of extra space. We can hopefully squeeze this in. Perfect. So, parking brakes on. I'll never forget. I'll never forget. That's the wrong way. I always forget. I'll never remember. It's probably more what we're going for. Right, so we're going to pop this in here. Brake. Parking brake on. Let's get out. Hopefully, if we come over here and say, give me this. Okay, maybe we're still in trouble. Oh. Ah, right, yeah, my dampeners were off, which is why I was no longer able to hover properly. That's fine. So we'll get this one in. I don't care too much about it being very well protected at the moment. I feel like we're going to need at least two. But we already have a lack of interior plates. If we could have a little look at this. We can't see it there. We'd have to come down to here. If we come down to here and go into... grid blocks doesn't see the wind turbine. So does scaffolding not count as grid blocks? Because it's connected. Oh, it's connected. Okay. So maybe scaffolding isn't the way to go then. Maybe not. Maybe not. I'm just having a quick flick through to see what other... So we'd need silver for medical components. Silicon, nickel, cobalt. Silicon. Yeah, silicon's the one thing we're missing then. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Boo. Boo. Does it say that there? Lightweight structural support to support ships. If I look at this, not very durable but lightweight. Yeah, okay. So I think we're going to have to redesign this a bit. Okay. It's a learning process. It's a learning process. We know this. Where I want to come down here. I just want to come in here and just drop off some of this stuff. But I can't. Why won't it just put it into any available inventory? Like, why won't you put it down there? Because I'm not looking at the cockpit, I suppose. You won't take the girders. Some things won't fit in you. Are there bits here that will fit down here? Yes. Not you. You will. You will. None of you will. That's fine. So you can go down there. You will not go down there. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that we're not losing anything. If we get rid of this, that should all fall down. And then attempt to crush me. Oh, I'm so low on food, I can no longer run. So let's get rid of this, and then we'll start again. All right. I also, as a mild aside, I'm going to struggle a little bit with the length of these videos until I probably get a little bit more used to it. Because I know how long I've been recording. So that's now full as well. So we really are starting to run out of space. Yeah, I know how long I've been recording. I don't know how long usable video there is. Because there's, you know, when I was going to mining and stuff, I was not talking then because I know that I'm going to either speed it up or cut it out. So yeah, so something's going to have to change with the video length, and I don't know exactly how it works. I've been recording for about an hour and a half so far, but like I say, I don't know exactly how long that's actually going to translate to. Is there a way? Because I want you to... Yeah, there we go. If we just bring it out again, it'll be rotated a bit more where I'd want it. Okay, so there, 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 there. We're probably going to need to get some more bits for this, I'd imagine. And then we want to go... I'd like another one on the end, I think. Nope. I'm trying to be clever. Trying to be clever, it's not working. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? I'm just going to jetpack, because we're going to jetpack anyway. I'm assuming there is an oxygen-hydrogen generator on the ship. Maybe they need to be welded together before they pass stuff through. I don't think they do, though. I don't know. Right, let's come up here. We don't have the interior plates for that. That's fine. That's fine. Come back down here.
Low.
Yep, that's fine. A few more blocks here. Let's get our refinery. This is going to be our third refinery of the game. That's how we roll. Pop you there. Basic assembler. Make sure you're orientated correctly. You're going to go there. So you can pull from the refinery. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm hungry. Yes, not wrong. Don't have a lot of fuel, so let's... Oh, I don't... No, I don't. I'm not even able to be able to build it, so that's not going to work. We've refueled. Middle click. Middle click. Middle click in the right place. That'll help. Let's get the basic assembler rebuilt. And then let's get the refinery built. I figure, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I figure we'll probably go up until like the next morning comes, at which point we really, really would like to have the algae farms up and running. But I think we're going to need silicon for that, pretty sure, which could be fun. So we need interior plates. We do now have interior plates on us. We have fuel, so let's come up here. Let's pop you down there. You there. We don't have enough girders to do that. That's fine. I feel like I've added way too many things to my build list and it's confusing everything. But I don't honestly know how to not have that. Girders. It's fine, the rest of it can stay there. Yeah, I don't know how to change the build menu. We'll have to try and figure that out. Okay, so you are up and running. Ow. I need to actually get to the console bit. Okay, we need a little stupid truck. We need a little ramp up on this side, don't we? Where is a slope? It is there. That is exactly what I want. Thank you very much. Except that's definitely going to have to be built for us to use it. We can sneak up there. Okay, right. So this is now connected to the grid. We now have a full grid. We have a wind turbine. It is optimal with a high wind level, but it's only out... Oh, because its max level's 415 because it hasn't... Yeah, okay, that's fine. That makes complete sense. Right, let's come over here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. We need more interior plates. Do we have more interior plates? Not that I can see. So production, interior plates. Cool, we have... goods to do that with, so we'll just... I think we needed 9, so that won't take a jiffy. There we go. We also need more motors, which I didn't notice before. Let's charge up our hydrogen. Let's grab some motors. Surely we have motors. Yes, we do. Sweet. Yeah, because I don't have a proper build queue, it's very difficult for me to pull out the components I need because it's just trying to pull out all sorts of things. So this will get this up and running. It's not going to be fully built, but I don't care too much to start with. And then if we... Stupid truck... Or we have to eat some food because we are... we're starving. We're starving. It's a problem. It's a problem. Let's pop these over here. Eat those. Can we eat the fruit? Yes, we can. Of course we can eat the fruit. So if we come over here and we take a little look at this, we now have 2 wind turbines. That is good. That is optimal. So it's not amazing where the second one is, but it will do. It will do. It's getting us some wind. That's all we really care about. So next thing we need is algae. So we have 2 kinds of algae farms. We've got a half algae farm. Algae? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, there's the build planner. How do I get rid of all that? Thank you. Figured out where the build planner is. Don't worry. All those people who are there in the comments, oh, you bloody idiot. It's in the toolbar config thing, obviously. I don't know what the difference between these is. Like, does one produce more? Used to cultivate algae. Used to cultivate algae. They're about the same size. Yeah, we're going to go with this one anyway. So we want this to go like this. And then I would like that to go like... My word. Like that. That's how I want this. I want to leave a bit of space underneath so we can get access to those ports. It might interfere with the wind turbine, in which case we will need to pop that back up. We want 6 of these, which is purely based on someone's video I saw where they were like, you need 6 algae farms to get started. And I have immediately lost count of where we got to. 1, we've done 5, haven't we? Yeah, so let's pop an extra one down. Like that. And they need steel plate, bulletproof glass, small steel tubes, construction components, and computers. So the steel tubes and the bulletproof glass, we can't even do those over here. Production, yeah, we can't even do those there. So we're going to have to do those in the thing over here. The steel tubes need iron ingots. The bulletproof glass, unsurprisingly, takes silicon. We haven't found silicon yet. So I think the next thing we're going to do is we are going to go... In fact, can I just check? Yeah, it still says it's optimal. Okay, I don't know if it's going to change when I build those, but that's fine. This is all... I feel like this is Captain of Industry when I say this, but this is all incredibly temporary. This is just to get me up and running so that I can then go over there, just like 50 meters, and start making everything up a little bit better. But yeah, we want this up and running before the morning. It looks like we're doing okay, although we can just about see that coming there. So we need to find silicon. So I'm going to drive around and find silicon. That is the plan. It's pitch black. That is very dangerous because it is harder to see things like, you know, cliffs. But, in fact, I think if I go into... If I just put the parking brake on... If I can please put the parking brake on before I hit that tree. I think if we come down to... Are these the only 2 lights we have? I think we can come down here and we can say big old radius. Big old intensity. It's somewhat better. And then we're just going to drive around rather tentatively and hope that we find silicon soon. I don't think we put a GPS marker on our base. I feel like we were also flying then briefly. But we do have the hole marker, of course. I think that unknown signal isn't going to be in this little mountainous cul-de-sac, as I've been referring to it. But we'll sort of drive roughly in that direction, just in case. It feels horrendously dangerous. I'm just doing all those things to get rid of that tutorial thing. Oh, hold on, what's happened here? Ah! Yes. Okay. If we turn the gyro on, things get weird. Turn the gyro off, turn the gyro off. Oh, that has freed us. That has freed us. Oh, brake, brake. Okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Hold X to charge a jump. Oh! That would have been very useful to know, like, just now when I got stuck in that ditch. Okay. Just keeping an eye out for ores. Haven't seen any yet, which is... Hello. 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 Yeah, so there's more silicon there, which is fine. We'll mark that regardless. Oh no, we need silicon! What am I on about? Oh, you absolute clown. We need silicon. Silicon. Oh, I've done it again. New from current position. Man of the Antz. Silicon, which I'm assuming is SI. I don't know. Oh, okay, right. Get out. Why am I at this weird angle? Is this literally the angle of the ground that I'm on? It feels really weird. Or silicon and magnesium. Ooh, okay. I feel like magnesium definitely has a different symbol, but we're going to go with that for now, and then everyone can yell at me in the comments and tell me I'm wrong. We're hungry again. Fine. We're going to just right-click through this because we just need to get down to that silicon. Because we're going to need quite a lot of silicon. But now that we have access to actual ores, we will be able to use the refinery, and everything's going to go a little bit quicker. We're also probably going to want to build some storage. At some point soon. Is that silicon? No, that's just stone. Just looked slightly yellow in colour. I'm still not convinced. No, that's just stone. Okay. I don't know what colour silicon is. But we are very close now. I feel like that. I suppose all the stone does sort of look like that. Is that silicon? Is silicon black? No, that's still just stone. That's got to be something else. Oh, it is. We have silicon. Oh, fantastic. Okay. We are going to mine the bejesus out of some of this silicon because we're going to need quite a lot of it.
Inventory full.
I don't know what the sort of ratios for... Oh, we're out of food again. Sun is... I don't know if it's creeping up. It's hard to tell. Yeah, okay, we're going to get some food, don't worry. So we're just going to pop in here. If we can just get rid of all of the silicon somewhere. The stone can go into the survival kit because you are still doing those. That's fine. Let's just get you doing another 1,000. We might as well throw the stone in there whilst we're there. We're then going to have to eat another food pack. And then wonder where we left our hole. Where is the silicon marker? Oh, it's right underneath the ship. Okay. Where is my hole? Okay, I'm going to put another GPS marker in there just so we know where the actual hole is. And we can update... Oh, I've done it again. New from current position. Hole. Red. Okay, right, more silicon. We'll be back in a moment. We have filled up with about as much silicon as we can carry, which isn't a lot. There's 2,000 in the cockpit. There's 1,000, 1,500, or 2,500, 1,500 there. So we've got about 4,000, which isn't bad. You can't put silicon ore in here, and you can't in here, and you can't put silicon ore in here. So we've got about as much as we can carry. We need to really add some storage to this. We might need to do like a little bit of a reconfiguration of the car. So we need to head back to so if we go here, if we put the brake on to stop us rolling away as we're doing this, if we put the coffee knee, if we say that's always visible, that's like our home marker, isn't it, essentially? Whoop. And that's over here. I'm glad I put that on because I would definitely have gone in the wrong direction. And we need to watch out for that tree branch. No, we're okay. Woo. Watch out for the terrain. So I know there's some rough terrain on the way. And I go this way a little bit to hope to avoid it somewhat. Didn't do a very good job. Did not do a very good job. Okay. What was it to do the little jump? Okay, what are we actually stuck on here? Yeah, it's just this terrible bumpy terrain again. Okay, let's try and go this way. I am hungry again. But when the sun comes up, we should hopefully start getting some algae. I don't know if I'm going to make it up here. Okay, we need to find another way around here. Which could be a bit problematic. Go this way, maybe? Oh, the sun's coming up, which is good in a way. Hit that bumpy terrain again. Have we got enough to get over it this time? No. And it looks like something is damaged. Oh dear. Let's yeah, what is this that we have damaged? The ore detector is damaged. Okay, well, that's not the end of the world. It's not ideal, of course. It obscures our vision a little bit. But we can't move? Why can't we move? The wheels are okay. Have we damaged our batteries? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that is a much, much bigger problem. Okay. Without batteries, we do not have... and we also are very hungry. I need to go and get some of that, the last bit of food out of here. I didn't want to do that. I wanted that. Oh, it's already in our inventory. That's our last bit of food. We do have this little bit of fruit. Okay, but without batteries, we don't have a... Did we eat that fruit? Is that all it's given, that food? Oh, the food is still ticking up. We don't have a respawn point. That's what I was trying to get to. We don't have a respawn point, which is a problem, because if we die, it's just game over. End of story. So that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. That's probably why you don't want your batteries on the bottom of your rover. So, okay. So we are going to have to run back to the base. I do have the jetpack, which would make me move a bit faster, or let me move a bit faster, but I'm a bit hesitant to just kick that in case we need it at some other point. I don't think it's too far. We also now have nowhere to recharge until those batteries are replaced. Or we build a new survival kit up here. So this is a problem. I did, in between the mine and the silicon, I did have a quick check to see about what our sort of video length is at the moment. And we are over an hour. If you strip out all of the mining stuff, we are over an hour. So it's not ideal. Not ideal. Well, it's ideal in the fact that, you know, the video length is fine, but we don't have a lot longer to go. It's sort of what I'm saying more than anything. And we need to get up here. We need to make a food processor so we can process the algae once that starts growing, which we haven't even built yet. Okay, yeah, because we needed the silicon. We needed the silicon to do stuff. So basic refinery. Let's have a look at this. Now, we only have this silicon we've got on us. And we've got some scrap metal. Can you do anything with scrap metal? Yeah, sure. Production. Why do you not just make stuff? Why are you not? Why is that not being turned into ore? I don't want to make any of that. I just want you to make ore. I am very confused. The refinery is on. I'm assuming it's on. How do I tell if it's got power or not? Basic refinery, which I'm assuming is on because it's not telling me anything different. It requires 330 kilowatts. Oh, we're currently outputting nothing. So it's not on because we don't have any wind power at the moment. This is a very bad situation we're in. This is a very bad situation we're in. Okay, the sun is just starting to creep down the valley, which is beautiful. Which is beautiful. Yeah, wind low, wind low. Okay, if I turn the assembler off to try and force power into this, it's just not good. Nothing's going to work until we get that wind up. Nothing's going to work until we get that wind up, and we can't make anything else because our ship is broken. Okay, let's have a little look. Oh, we can't do it from there, can we? We have to do it from here. Let's have a little look. If we wanted to make solar cells, that's just nickel and silicon, which is fine. We have some of that in our car, but we'd have to get there first. And then I don't know how you turn solar cells into... do you just put the solar cells down? Or I suppose it would be in this old menu here, wouldn't it? If we look for solar, a solar panel, yes, is bulletproof glass, solar cells, computers, girders, construction, computer, steel plate. So not much. That would be fine. But we just can't do anything until we get wind. Huh. Yeah. Yep. Oh, the sun is up, so that's lovely. So we should be making algae at this point. I'm going to swap between saying algae and algae, just randomly, just to see who it annoys. I mean, it's beautiful that it's a lovely windless day for our first full day here, but I need you to start kicking in more. So they're currently making about 250, but this takes 330. Oh, I wish I hadn't broken my ship. My car. I wish I hadn't broken my car so very, very much. What do power cells take? What do power cells look like? Power cells. I don't actually want to make them. Yeah, iron ingots, silicon wafers, and nickel ingots. So it's all very doable. It's all very doable. I haven't cycled through the HUD states like that wants us to. So you can turn the HUD off completely. You've got the full HUD with the tool info on the right, or you can turn that off. H to cycle through signal states. Oh, okay. That's quite useful. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, this is now kicking in. How much do we have? About 350 at the moment. I'm going to turn this back on. It's not currently doing anything, so it's not going to use the power, so that's fine. And it only requires 1 kilowatt to do anything. I guess it will just be slower if it's below that. Okay. But all of our stuff's in our car. Do I focus on getting the power cells, or do I focus on getting the algae up and running? Oh, I really don't know. I really don't know. 'Cause we have to make everything. We have to make everything. Maybe we do the power cells. Because we could try and struggle through without the car, but I feel like we need the car. So we need iron, silicon, and nickel for that. So I'm going to queue up, not 100, I'm going to queue up 40 of those. How much, if we were looking at making a battery, I don't know which kind we've got. Probably is it going to be a small battery? If we just put the batteries on our toolbar. Is it this one? This one? This one? This one? This one? Yeah, we just hope we have the other stuff in the grid, I think. As in the car's stuff. So we need iron and nickel. Okay, I'm going to gather some iron and nickel, bearing in mind that I can't really carry anything. Can we just chuck some stuff into the basic assembler? And we're going to have to eat that fruit. And then we can go search for more fruit with all of the wonderful free time that I have. This is a horrible start. This is a horrible start. It might be a good place to think about stopping, I guess. And when I say stopping, I mean bringing this episode to a close and then immediately going and crouch down and starting the next episode, because I can't stop like this. I need to know what happens. I need to know if this is dead already. And we have to be careful that we leave ourselves a nice easy route out, because we do not currently have a way of, well, we can jet back out if we get stuck, but we can't refill our jetpack at the moment.
Inventory full.
Oh, why did that say stone? We've only collected stone, but that's iron. That should be iron. Why isn't that iron? Why have I only collected stone? Go away. Oh, that's a big old stone. Why am I not collecting iron? It's red. That's iron coloured, right? Oh, I think we did get some then. I suppose we could take... Can the refinery do stone, or is it only the survival kit that does stone? We just check to see we're getting iron. We are. I don't know how we're going to survive without food.
Inventory full.
Because we have to eat the fruit. We have reached that point. We're down to 10% food. We need food. So I can't run even, which is just another impairment on my ability to survive. The sun's already up there. We're already wasting precious daylight. So So let's put iron there. Can you put stone in there as well? Yeah, I'm going to put the stone after the iron because you've got a fair bit of silicon there now. And you, I want you to start producing... Oh no, because you need nickel. Okay, we had nickel here somewhere. Is our food still going up? Did that only give us like 4 food? Oh, this might be the end. This might be the end. Where's nickel? Let's try and get sort of alongside it. Right, if we come down to the existing hole, so then we just have like one hole. And then let's right-click mine our way through this. Which would do appear to just be taking a chunk out of the grass, but that's... I'm fine. Fine with that. Make it very difficult to drive over, I suppose. Yeah, I knew making that massive hole in the ground would be a silly idea. So we need, I think we need at least 20 power cells to repair one of the batteries. That's what I have in my head. And we're on 13 food. Okay, inventory, nickel. Okay, so we're starting to produce power cells. Should be able to get at least 20. We might just let that go in case we do need more. Bearing in mind that I do really, really need to stop. So we'll see if we can fix the car. And then we'll call the video there. And hope, really, really hope we can get the algae farms up and running. Yeah, everything's just kicking in and out because it's taking power to do this, obviously. It's taking power away from this to generate more of these, but then it's having to wait for it to make more of these. Yeah, if I can get 40, I don't mind jetpacking our way over there a little bit. Okay. Why can't I take more of those? I can only... Oh, because I've got all that stone. That's as much as I can carry, 28. If I get rid of those? No. Probably do want the steel plate more than those, I'd imagine. Hilarious, that's everything we can carry. Okay. Let's see if we can fix the car. Doesn't seem that far when you're jetpacking, does it? Construction components you need as well, but I think it'll be functional without that. Are you the same on this side? Yeah, okay. If I right-click you... No, I don't have the construction components. But that is now functional. Okay. Is this that rough terrain again? Oh, it really is. But I think we're going to get up there. Okay, yeah, we're up there. Okay. So, might not be the end of the world. So I'm going to wrap this up here. So let me know how you think I did. I'm probably going to immediately start recording the next video, and we're going to see if we can get the algae farms up and running before the end of the day. Because if we can't get the algae farms up and running, then we're dead anyway. We're dead. So, right. So in here, just get as much of that as you can, and that, and that, and that. We just don't have a lot of carry space, unfortunately. Okay, cool. Well, there we go. The first episode of Space Engineers. I hope very much that you are enjoying it. If you are enjoying it, well, you know what to do. Hit the like button, comment, subscribe, all those amazing things. I will see you next time in Space Engineers, where we see if this is something I can survive or not. As I said, let me know thoughts, comments, how you think I'm doing, suggestions, anything like that. Very, very much welcome any input you might have on this one. Otherwise, I will see you next time, and as always, thank you so very, very much for joining me.